Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. My name is Spiro. In case you're unfamiliar, that's who I am. Drop subscribe, and we'll be familiar. We talk about a lot of things on this podcast. We have some fun. We talk serious. We talk comedy. We talk tragedy. We talk everything in between. So get on board, hit that subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new episodes. I hope everyone had a great week. I know I did. The AVNs were in town in Vegas, so if you guys were attending or were around, hope you enjoyed that. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's the porn awards for the adult videos. Shout out to my girl, Shanna Brooks, aka Nikki Huntsman, the homegirl. She was nominated for a few awards. I don't know if she took anything home, but that's just a big deal to be nominated. And then another shout out to my guy, Uncle Laser, who was in town doing comedy for the AVNs and sold out both of his shows at Wise Guys. I got to pop in on the Saturday one. It was so much fun. Congrats to him. Love to see the success. But busy time in Vegas. You know, these conventions used to be even bigger in Vegas. AVN used to take over, I feel like would take over the whole town. Like that's all you would deal with. When I was at the Palms, man, it was like all you dealt with was AVN stuff. And Vegas has changed. Vegas has changed, you know. When I first started, I worked at the Palms. Probably the last couple of years when Vegas was relatively how it was back in the day. You know, no mob or anything like that. I'm way past that. But, you know, it still had a personal touch to Vegas. It still had a fun feel to it. People are like, what are you talking about? Vegas is fun. It's not, bro. Vegas sucks now. Have you been to anywhere in Vegas? Have you been to any of these? If you want to gamble, if you want to come to Vegas for a traditional gambling weekend, it's not the same. Corporate influencers, they all ruin this shit, man. Which I mean, it's just the normal thing. Just like how everyone was complaining, there's a big theory now that TikTok is part of Meta. Would I be surprised? No. They see an opportunity to make a ton of money, they're going to take it. It's the world we live in. Just like everyone complains the Chiefs. The NFL is rigging for the Chiefs and the Eagles, the Chiefs and the Eagles. I mean, maybe they're just the two best teams. Just because you bet on the other team because you didn't like them doesn't mean that the NFL rigged it. But if the NFL did rig it, it would make sense. Who are they going to throw in there? Teams that nobody wants to watch? Or teams with superstars everywhere that everybody wants to watch? I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of how Vegas is. I'm not a fan of how this world is now, but that's how it is, unfortunately. It's all about how to capitalize on things to make the dollar. And I'm sure it's always been like that. But now it's just different because now it's in your face, but it's pretending like it's not in your face. You know? Like it's like waggling in your face. It's like wagging in your face and then be like, no, that's not how it is. You know, we're going to wag a fun time in your face. Like, oh, you little boy, you want a treat? Oh, you want a little Vegas vacation? You want? Boom, resort fees and parking. Oh, you're going to come and gamble that $100 and, you know, have fun with your friends and, you know, sleep in a bathtub and do it. No, we're going to ruin that shit. 2 people max to a room. If we find out there's more people in that room, we're going to charge your asses. Oh, yeah, you wanted to gamble that $100? Well, how do we know you're going to lose that $100? What if you win $100? We can't afford that. Boom, $50 resort fee, $25 parking added on top of your $6 room. You thought you were getting a deal? Fuck you. You're stuck in Vegas now. What are you going to do, drive back home? That's $50 in gas. That's literally how people act in Vegas now. That's literally how the mentality is. When before it used to be like the hospitality hub. You know, Sarah and I, we would go on vacations places and she would lose her fucking mind because the service would be terrible. She's like, this is not how I'm used to. Like in Vegas, this is what we're supposed to do and you're supposed to do this and it's supposed to be. And it's like, yeah, that's, and I would tell her, I'm like, yeah, that's Vegas. We're the hospitality capital of the world. People want to come here. People want to come there and experience a good time, right? Because the whole concept is they're going to come there, they're going to lose money, they're going to go crazy, they're going to party, and they're going to leave broke. That was kind of the mentality back then. It's like, we take care of everything, you guys spend your money and have fun. And if you have fun, you're going to spend your money. And if sometimes you win, you'll be back because you had a fun fucking time. Now these casinos are just like, we need everything up front. We need everything up front. And they literally just drain you. They're like little vampires. They drain you of everything before you even get into the door. And then you're fucking miserable. Right? Like, I know the world complains about resort fees. If you're still complaining about resort fees, and if you're surprised about resort fees when you show up to Vegas, jump off a bridge for real. Because it's not a new thing. If you think you're getting a $12 room, there's a reason it's a $12 room. They're going to jack up a $50 resort fee on that. There are ways to get out of it. You want some tips and tricks on how to get out of resort fees? Oh my God. The easiest way to get out of a resort fee is one, don't book on a third-party website. That's the biggest mistake I would always see. Is if you book on a third-party website, the contracts between the hotel and that third-party website, it's just a pain in the ass. Okay, you might think you're getting it cheap, but they're still going to tack on that resort fee. And there's always that small print, so don't come and start acting like you don't see where that small print is. There's always that small print. And then you're kind of stuck. So the best thing I can do, best advice I can give for that is book through the hotel website. Might be a little pricier up front, but guess what? We're going to knock those resort fees right off. How do you knock those resort fees off? Find a problem in your room. Find a problem with your stay. A lot of these places, man, they don't have people that are experienced running these places. You know, back when I first started, it was like you started on the bottom, you learned everything, and then you would move up. So you were pretty well versed in every dynamic of the hotel and casino. Now it's like, oh, this person went to school. Let's throw them in this position. They know terms. They read a book. And unfortunately, that's just not how the hospitality industry works. Thank you so much for the support and listening. If you guys haven't followed me already, please do at Spiro on That Show on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, whatever you got, I got it. Drop me a follow. I would really appreciate it. So resort fees, easy. Easy hack to get rid of them. Just say the Wi-Fi is broken. They can't prove that. Are they going to go up to your room and try to connect to the Wi-Fi? And if they do, kudos to them. Say it wasn't working before. They will waive those resort fees. Resort fees, guys, as long as you don't book on a third-party website, you're able to get those waived. Just push, push, push. Just like Jalen Hurts and the tush push. It's unstoppable. It's undefeated. It's the worst play in the game, but you can do it. I got to give some back, right? Because everyone is convinced that you can't win in the casino. And for the most part, they're right. You cannot win in the casino. Time is your enemy. The casino's not your enemy. Time is your enemy. People are, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The casino's my enemy. They clearly rig things. And they don't need to rig things. Shut up. You sound dumb. They don't need to rig things. Guess what? Everything is statistically against your odds in the casino. Everything. The best game you can play is Baccarat. That's 50-50, and you have to pay a 5% commission on winning hands on the banker. So even that, not a true 50-50 game. Okay? So shut up with your little conspiracy theories. And I watch all these TikTok people like that Mickey Mays guy or whatever the fuck. This dude. We have a lot of these influencers now that have infiltrated Vegas that think they just know everything about Vegas, and they fucking ruin it. This Vegas Pauly C, this Vegas Starfish, fuck them. Who are you talking about? They give us great recommendations. No, they fucking ruin this place because they're just little whiners. That's the thing. A lot of these people think it's new. They're not new. These people have been around forever. We call them fleas in the casino. They're fleas. They're people that just come and they latch on and they just try to get a free ride, just like a flea. They try to find every angle. They try to find every nook and cranny. They try to find every excuse to get a free crumb of bread off of the casino. There are people that literally, and Vegas Policy is one of them, that literally go around and survive off casinos. That's what they do. They know that like if they spend a certain money a year, then the casino is going to give them X amount of reinvestment back because again, corporate, it's all Excel sheet. It's very easy to figure out. And they just literally go from place to place. And they survive with the free buffet coupons they get on Tuesdays and the free shirt that they get on Wednesdays and the $5 free play that they hope they just turn into $5 in cash. Like, it's literally just grinding on the bus from casino to casino. And now, because of COVID and TikTok, everybody was like, oh, Vegas, they have all these cool places. Look at them showcase. All they're doing is just getting free shit for them. They don't give a fuck about these places. They've ruined places. The Golden Steer, legendary place in Vegas. Legendary. And if you guys are from Vegas or been in Vegas a while, you know what the Golden Steer is and you know how it used to be. Now there are people they're not buying the reservations, but they're holding all the reservations. They're booking all the reservations, and then they're selling those reservations online. So you can't even get a true Vegas experience anymore. You can't even just walk in to the Golden Steer, sit at the bar, and have a great Caesar salad, great steak, just a great old school Vegas experience. Now there's nothing available for months, unless you look on these websites where they're charging you $25, $50, some are even charging $125 for these reservations. Fuck those people. Fuck those people. And then they do the same thing. They go to these casinos and they show them all on their thing. They're like, thank you, so-and-so VIP host. Thank you, so-and-so GM. Thank you, so-and-so. You know what? As soon as y'all don't get what you want, you're going to burn those places so fucking bad, because I've seen it. Y'all are fleas. And that's kind of what Vegas has become now. We've just become this mangy dog filled with fleas. And it's always been bad. I'm not saying that now it's bad. Like, now it's the word. But like, now it's just so exploitable. It's so predictably exploitable. It's boring. Vegas is boring now. I'm sorry. Someone had to say it. Who are you talking about? There's clubs and concerts and the Sphere. Fuck, that's boring. Boring. What happened to the days where people would gamble 24/7, have a wild adventure, right? Now it's like, let's go to the Sphere and see Grateful Dead. We got these tickets in the convention. Let's go. Like, fuck off, bro. Oh, like, let's go to every named chef's restaurant. Shut up. Gordon Ramsay, lick my dick. Gordon Ramsay, lick dick. Your food is trash. I'm sorry. All these celebrity chef restaurants, trash. That's another Vegas tip for you. You want real Vegas tips? I'll give you the real Vegas tips. One, all celebrity restaurants are trash. They're overpriced. It's the same ingredients that you're going to get at any other restaurant in the fucking casino or the hotel. They just jack up the price. They put a little fancy schmancy bun on it, and they call it a Gordon Ramsay burger. Like that. If you're going to a named restaurant from a celebrity chef, you're going to be disappointed. All right? That's just fact. That is just fact. What's another tip I got a bunch of tips and tricks, okay? I think I told you I told you the resort fee already. But this is like even the scams aren't even good anymore. Right? Like, just tell someone that the Wi-Fi doesn't work and that's how you get the resort fee off. Boring. When I worked at the Palms, Sarah and I, we busted this whole scam where these guys figured out that we had this promotion where if you lost $1,000 in the first 24 hours of staying with us, and you had to be from out of town, had an out of town ID, you would get $1,000 in free playback. You'd get $300 right away, and then you get $300 in 3 months, and the additional $400 in a year. It was a way to try to get people to come back for multiple trips. Great premise, not that great execution. There was a lot of flaws in it, which we found out during the course of it. But the biggest one we found was this local guy kept showing up with people that barely spoke English and was like fighting the Players Club people for the lost promotion. So they called me in because they're like, there's something weird about this guy. This guy's being rude. Long story boring, we ended up finding out that this guy was sticking cards in the machine and then on the blackjack machines, and then every time they would deal his hand, he would pull his card out. So no matter if he hit, stayed, drawed, whatever, it would register as a loss. So he would, if the dealer was showing a 20 and he had a 10, he would pull his card out. And then let's say he pulls an ace and wins, it would still show that he lost. So he would do this. That's all they would do is pull, and he would just milk their free play. He would get their cards before they would leave. He would just milk their free play. Crazy, clever, creative. Not anymore. These scams now. Oh, I hit the button and the machine took the money. Or it's people that they go and they watch people play machines and they sit and they watch and then they're like, I think this machine's about to hit now because this person played it a bunch. And then they sit and they try to play. It's just lazy shit. Lazy shit, man. Think of some good tips and tricks. There used to be one where people would put in their player's card, put in a business card, pull the player's card out, rip the excess business card that was hanging out, and the laser would still trigger the card, and it wouldn't look like there was any player's card in the machine, but it would still register. So anyone that sat and played on that machine, you would get registered your points. Creative, clever, smart, effective. Took months for us to figure that one out. Guy was getting villas and 3,000 and free. Like, this dude took us out. You don't get those anymore. You don't get those kind of scams anymore. Bring good scams back. Make America scam the casino. That's going to be my new saying. Make America scam the casino again. Muska. Give me a muska. Let's see some muska. I'm just saying, man. You need to step your game up, scammers. Just like corporate Vegas, y'all got boring as fuck. If you guys are enjoying this podcast, fan-freaking-tastic. I'm happy you are. But I also do live stand-up shows. And if you guys are in Vegas and need something to do over the next month, I have some shows for you. This Wednesday, January 29th at 8 p.m., I'll be headlining Buck's Tavern, which is a local spot on the east side of town. It's one of my favorite places to do. I'm headlining, doing 45 minutes. Usually do a lot of new material, or I stretch old material. I just do a lot of improv and have a lot of fun there. So if you guys want to come to a free, fun, off-the-rail show, Buck's Tavern, January 29th. Then I will be headlining the Notoriety Downtown Comedy Lounge on Valentine's Day weekend. Bring a date. Come hang out. February 14th and 15th. Then I'm at Jimmy Kimmel's on February 21st and 22nd. I'm closing out the Keenan Presents comedy show there. And last but not least for February, on the books, I have my Jokes and Fire show at Smoke and Fire on February 26th. It's a Wednesday. It starts at 8 p.m. And we have Vicky Barbalock from America's Got Talent headlining this bad boy. If you guys aren't familiar with her, then you definitely don't pay attention to anything on my page, because she is a stone cold killer. She has a residency at Kimmel's. She is a monster, and we have her for one night only. So please, please, please come out to Jokes and Fire. I promise you, you will not regret it. I enjoy talking about the casino industry because it was a big part of my life, and I really did love it. I worked in the VIP side of it. It's how Sarah and I fell in love. We were friends before that. We knew each other from UNLV. She was roommates with her best friend, Christine, who we're still friends with now, or I'm still friends with her now, and a guy that we played hockey with. And she became essentially kind of like a little, or a big sister of the hockey team. So I kind of knew her from that. And then when we got to the Palms, she was there and she was in VIP and she was a host, and I was just starting being a host, and she really taught me everything that I needed to know. Because that's another thing. Back then, training was just like, you got the job, they're like, go figure it out. They're like, we trust you. You got this job for a reason. Now it's like they hire people that have no idea what the fuck they're doing, and then they give them like 10 months of training and they still don't know what they're doing because they're being led by the blind who doesn't know what they're doing. But Sarah was very, very smart, and she was very, very experienced, and she knew everything, and she taught me everything. It was interesting because even with VIP, like she was VIP, and then, I mean, she became a VIP in the hospital. She was like the little sweetheart in the hospitals, you know? She got the VIP experience. That's, I think, why she loved hospitals so much, is she got like a full VIP experience. They loved her. They knew her by name. They had her chart. Like, she would chat. It was like she would go to gamble with her life. And these nurses and doctors were her life casino coach. They'd be like, how much chemo you want today to play with so you can try to win your life? It's dark, but I mean, she never got a VIP card. We didn't get preferred parking. I mean, we got a hospice stay. That's not as good as a hotel stay, but we stayed in hospice for a couple days. That's not as exciting. But could you imagine if hospitals treated people like a casino VIP, right? There's a separate check-in for hospital VIPs. You have to flash your cancer card. You're like, oh, you have what's that card? Oh, you have stomach flu card. I have cancer card. Get out of here. Get me in the best hospital suite available. I got the cancer card. It's dark, but it's true, man. Like, they should have a VIP. If anyone's going to fix our healthcare system, that's what they should do. They should implement VIP. The more sick you are, the more easy access you have. That happened to me when I had my stomach shit, when I had like my whole mishap with my surgery, which is a long story. I'll go into it in another podcast. But there was a point where this was like second wave of COVID peak, when everyone was like, it was still going pretty strong. It was in December, and everybody's in this emergency room. There's like hundreds of people. It's packed. There's nowhere to sit. And I'm throwing up in a little mini trash can nonstop because I was really fucked up. And you knew it was bad when everybody that was there in the waiting room before me was like, hey, like, can you check him? Can you make sure he's okay? He doesn't seem like he's doing all right. They should, though. You should get the best nurses, depending on, like, you should get the best doctors. In my experience, you don't get the best nurses when you're dying. They give you the asshole nurses when you're dying. Probably because you can't leave reviews afterwards. Who's going to leave a review when they die about a shitty nurse? Right? I'm not going to do it. I have other things to do. I'm not going to leave a Yelp review about a shitty nurse. I think someone on their deathbed's going to be like, I really appreciate my life. My friends and family are all here. I've given it my best effort. But that nurse, Phyllis, what a bitch. I'm not going to be here again. Not because I choose not to be here again. I'm never coming back here because I'm dying because of Phyllis. If I could give this hospital 0 stars, I would. Maybe hospitals will start charging resort fees soon. I don't know, man. But I've learned they don't give you good nurses when you're dying. And not like they're always mean. Sometimes they're just new. Like, again, hey, they're dying. Fucking give them someone who's brand new. Before Sarah went into hospice, almost 4 years ago to date, when we found out that her health was really declining, a guy that I played adult league hockey walked in. And he's not even a guy where I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. You're a doctor or a nurse. No, I was like, holy shit, we're in fucking trouble. This guy's going to be your nurse? You're dead. Sorry, Sarah. I love you, but you're dead. There's no way. If they're sending this guy in to take care of you, this guy can't even take care of his hockey equipment. How's he going to take care of you? Hospital VIP over here. It's dark. It's all dark, what I talk about. But it's true. I don't want to say all the nurses were bad. She had a lot of good doctors and nurses. But in the hospital, they're just like, whatever we fucking got is what's going to take care of you if we think you're dying. But when she would go to the doctor, she was treated like VIP. They would have little snacks for her. She would bake them all. Treats, right? Casino industry, I got a lot of treats, man. Didn't get a lot of cash. People don't like tipping men cash for whatever reason. Got a lot of sweets and treats from old ladies. I got a lot of little knickknacks, cologne. Female house, man. They got Gucci bags, sunglasses, red bottoms. Fuck off. Can you imagine that? Swagging out the nurses? VIP hospital stay. Here's some red bottoms for taking care of me. Appreciate it. You know what they do when people die? You know what they, like, one of the craziest things they do? Which is also kind of like a casino. So casino has like casino credit, right? So you can get like approved for a credit line based on numerous things. But one of the main things is you got to have good credit, or you got to have decent credit, and you got to have money in the bank. A lot more goes into it, but those are two of the determining factors. And how much credit you have around town, blah, 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 blah. And then if you don't pay, they like call you, like a collection agency would go, hey, like, remember you owed us this money, give it back. Hospitals, when they know you're about to die, this is true as fuck. They literally are like, she's probably going to go. We got to put her on hospice. This was a year before she passed because she was a tough, feisty bitch. She stuck around long after that. And they told us this, so obviously, dark moment. We can't, like, I'm in a place where I can't even comprehend what's going on. I'm a mess. And then some lady walks in and she goes, so your bill is $1,200, but if you pay right now, it'll be $800. And I'm like, are they literally coming in to negotiate billing right after? Again, am I going to complain on Yelp? I probably should have. But it's kind of a dirty game. They really push on your emotions. And I'm sure that's a lot of things. You know? One of the things they asked when Sarah was being cremated is if we wanted to pay extra to watch them push her body in. Who the fuck wants to see that? What psycho wants to watch their loved one who just battled for a long time get shoved into an incinerator? I don't know. Not me. Not me. Maybe if she was possessed by the devil. Maybe if it was the end of a horror movie and I knew that the demon was still infesting her body. Sure. Toss her in there. Get rid of it. Let me see the body go in so I know there's no sequel. Can I get it comped? She's a VIP, right? She spent a lot of money. Can you comp pushing in? Okay, if you comp, that's the VIP experience we want. If you can comp pushing her in the urn, I'll watch it. But I'm not going to pay the $500. She's a big spender in this hospital. I can't do that. And if you can't do that, find me another host at another crematory. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. If you guys haven't followed me on social media, please do at Spiro in that show. With that being said, I will see you guys next week for another episode of the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. Take care.